This is liquid chocolate held at exactly 31 degrees Celsius, 1 degree too warm, and it loses its shine. 1 degree too cold, and it turns to paste. But long before it flowed like this, it was a bitter seed buried inside a fruit that grows straight out of the trunk of a tree. This is how a cocoa bean becomes a chocolate bar. It starts here in the tropics within 20 degrees of the equator. This is the cacao tree, and these bright pods grow directly from its trunk and branches. Inside each pod are 30 to 50 pale seeds wrapped in a sweet white pulp. The pods are cut down by hand, then split open to release the beans. At this stage, they taste nothing like chocolate. The fresh beans and pulp are piled into wooden boxes and covered. Over the next 5 to 7 days, they ferment. Natural yeasts feed on the pulp. The temperature climbs past 45 degrees, and deep inside each bean, the chemistry of chocolate flavor begins to form. Workers turn the mass by hand to keep it even. Without this step, there is no chocolate, only bitterness. Next, the beans are spread out to dry, often under the open sun. For 1 to 2 weeks, they are raked and turned, slowly losing most of their moisture. Their color deepens to a rich brown, and their weight drops by nearly half. Only now are they stable enough to be shipped to a factory anywhere in the world. Inside the factory, the dried beans are roasted in slowly rotating drums at around 120 to 150 degrees. Roasting is where the aroma is born. Hundreds of flavor compounds develop in the heat, and the unmistakable smell of chocolate finally fills the air. After roasting, the beans pass through a cracking machine that breaks the brittle outer shell. A stream of air then blows the light shells away, leaving behind the heart of the bean, small dark fragments called nibs. This is pure cocoa, and everything that follows is built from it. The nibs are fed between heavy stone wheels and ground. As they grind, friction heat melts the cocoa butter locked inside them, and the dry fragments collapse into a thick, dark, flowing paste. This is cocoa mass, also called cocoa liquor, though it contains no alcohol at all. The mass now enters the conch, a machine that kneads and rolls it for hours, sometimes for days. Conching drives off harsh acids, coats every particle in cocoa butter, and turns a gritty paste into something silky and smooth. The longer it runs, the finer the chocolate becomes. Depending on the recipe, sugar is added for sweetness, extra cocoa butter for flow, and a touch of lecithin to bind everything together. For milk chocolate, milk powder joins the mix. The difference between dark, milk, and white chocolate is decided right here. Before it can be shaped, the chocolate must be tempered. It's gently warmed, cooled, and worked, sometimes across a marble slab, to align the cocoa butter into a single, stable crystal structure. Temper it right, and the chocolate sets hard, snaps cleanly, and gleams. Skip it, and it turns dull and crumbly. The tempered chocolate is poured into polycarbonate molds shaped like finished bars. The molds ride onto a vibrating table that shakes every trapped air bubble up to the surface, so each bar comes out solid and flawless. From there, the molds travel slowly through a cooling tunnel. Over about 20 minutes, the chocolate sets and contracts, pulling away from the walls of the mold just enough to release. At the end of the line, the molds are flipped and tapped, and the finished bars drop free, hard, glossy, and ready to snap. From a bitter seed to this took weeks of careful work. Each bar is swept into a wrapping machine, sealed in foil and paper to shield it from light, air, and moisture. The machines move fast, hundreds of bars every minute. Finally, the wrapped bars are counted, boxed, and stacked onto pallets, ready to be shipped to shelves all over the world. And that's the journey, from a seed buried inside a tropical fruit to the bar in your hand. If you enjoyed watching how this was made, stay with us. There's a whole world of everyday things waiting to be taken apart step by step.